everybody, Cindy out here with my artsy endeavors, and guess what? It's time for another chapter in my story. This is going to be chapter 4, and let me bring you out a little bit. Out, maybe out. There we go. And in this chapter, we're going to talk about, here we go. Let's see, on the last chapter what we talked about was starting the uphill climb, right? And I have a bunch of notes here so I remember what to talk about. That was chapter 3. We talked about the uphill climb. I was still working. You know, we're going to turn it this way. I want to turn it this way today, just because I can. I've got some Dilutions paint here, so I'm just going to start making some marks while I'm talking, okay? So, we talked about how, here we go, we've got to start making these phone calls. Everything, it seems like, that needs to be done, I have to do it. And let me tell you, that it's just crazy. This was just the beginning, and I didn't realize it, but I had to document everything. And then I had to keep track of it all. Phone calls. Okay? Phone calls. Don't expect people to call you back. They don't. You know, I had to keep workers' comp, which would be my attorney, actually. The workers' comp insurance company, trying to get things approved. It was crazy. But anyways, here in chapter 4, this is where I'm at right now. I am taking medicine. They've got me on steroids. They've got me on, oh, I like doing that better. Ooh, like that better. They've got me on steroids. They've got me on ibuprofen. I take 4 800 milligram ibuprofen a day, and believe it or not, I'm still doing that. That does help a little bit. Not, you know, as much as I wish it would, but it helps a little bit. It eases off on some of the pain. Ooh, that was fun. I like playing with that. I'm just in the mood to play with some stencils and some paints today. And what we're going to do is at the end I'm going to add some more stuff to it. So that's what you're seeing right now. So anyways, taking the steroids, we're taking ibuprofen, we're taking gabapentin to try to help with the nerve pain. I have a lot of, an extreme amount of pain in my left leg, and I believe it's due to the actual nerve issue. So we're doing that. We're waiting for some more tests. I'm still waiting for my MRI to be able to get that. Paperwork. There is so much paperwork involved. I'm currently still with my employer, and you know, in order to get paid, there has to be a certain amount of medical paperwork put in for the disability. I have to stay on top of that, because if the paperwork doesn't get in from these doctor's offices, then I don't get paid. So phone calls, constantly making phone calls. Okay, this on top of all the pain, which is, I think what really bothered me the most is, you know, I'm trying to deal with this pain, and instead of just resting and relaxing and trying to, you know, let my body heal or whatever it needs to do, I constantly have to fight. I constantly have a frustration. There's a frustration level that's just, you know, frustration equals stress equals the body tightening equals more pain. Okay? Let me dry this real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so this is pretty well dry. Now I've got another Dilution paint out. This one is Vibrant Turquoise. What I used previously was Pomegranate Seed. This was a new one from this year. And White Linen, which is an older paint from last year. So, alright, so now I've got to play some more. So what are we doing here? We've got, you know, like I said, phone calls, frustration. How do we handle the frustration? I'll be honest with you, I did a lot of documenting. I wrote everything down that happened. Journaling. I learned through this whole chronic pain process that my journal is my best friend. It's a place where I can go, I can completely vent, I can say whatever I need to say, and it's okay because it doesn't matter. All right, I can let loose in my journal, whereas you know, without my journal, I honestly don't know how I would have handled all of it. The stress alone from following up with everybody's phone calls and making sure that this paperwork got sent to this location on time, calling the worker comp caseworker because I needed to have the paperwork put in so I could get an approval for an MRI. I mean, there was just so much. And again, dealing with the pain. I have been in since the day this happened. My left leg, again, is numb. It hurts. You know, and my emotions at this point, I'm like, okay, just fix me. Let's go. Let's get it done. Fix me, and let's move on. I got other things to do. I need to get back to work. I got audits scheduled. You know, I don't want to leave my pier with my turf along with his. I mean, we had large areas and we had work to do. Now I'm turning this right side up. Let me see if I can bring out a little bit more. So again, here we go with another level of frustration. Okay. This is just, this is the Crafter's Workshop. It's a stencil. And, it talks about art is just another way of expressing yourself. So, and I want some of the wordage on here. I don't want it, you know, specifically to say a lot. You notice these? I got to show you something. Okay, these are these small cosmetic wedges, okay? This is what happens when you wash them. This one's still kind of wet. It blows all up. Look at the difference in size. Isn't it crazy? Anyways, just had to show you that. That's why I have such a big stencil at this point, or a big sponge at this point. There's still water in it. I don't care. It's all right. It's all good. So I'm just putting some black markings on here, wordage, if you want to put it that way. All right. So frustration, like I said, I journal. To this day, I still journal. I journal a lot. Whether it be, you know, I wish my case I could settle and get things done, which we're hoping is going to happen this year, I don't know, to, you know, what I had for dinner last night, if it just moves me that way. I'm going to dry this up real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so what I've got here is I have a page of, these are printer labels that I have used to put some paint down with. Now, I don't know if I think I just stenciled. I had some leftover paint that I was using and I decided to stencil it. Okay, that one I don't want. I just ripped it. There's different sizes of these. I think they're really cool. Put you right there. And what I'm going to do... I'm trying to see where the lines are. What I'm going to do is these are going to end up being my journaling boxes for my chapter 4, okay? And when I journal with these, I will be putting down where I'm at in this journey. This is really strange. They're not cut here. It's like you get this one, this one, this one, this one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. That's really kind of strange. I'll definitely use these up. I'll just have to cut them myself, but it's just weird. What set is this? It just says recommended for inkjet printers. I found these labels at a thrift store that I go to quite frequently. Actually, it's called a reuse center. It's in Ithaca, New York, and it's really cool because you can find all this really neat stuff only for a couple dollars. So, I'm going to take another long one. This one's going to go right here. So again, what I'm doing in this journal is I'm talking about my journey and I'm having fun. I still think this is really weird. See? It's hooked. It's hooked to this end piece. That's okay. I can still use them. Alright, so for now, these need to go into the wash again today. I've been having fun today. I've been playing quite a bit. I want to take some of my black dilutions, and I just have a little round brush. And I just want to give these guys a little box. Okay. For, like I said, for the emotion this week, dealing with the frustration, journaling. I have found that journaling is just, for me, a great place to let go of everything I have to deal with. It helped. It helped me a lot, and it still does help me. When I have those really, really bad days, I can just go into my journal and say, hey, you know, this is what's up. So, if you're just starting this journey, if you've just recently had an accident at work, or you have an injury at work, one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give to you, well, two, actually. One is get a lawyer. Get an attorney. Get an attorney that's familiar with the workers' comp rules and regulations and laws and all that. Definitely get an attorney. Mine has helped me immensely, just with things I didn't know. You know, things that I get a denial for a medication, you know, just different things like that. Something happens with the pay, they decide they don't want to pay this month, or, you know, whatever it is. The attorneys are there, they're definitely there to help you, and as far as I'm concerned, it has been a well worth getting one. One of the best pieces of advice I received at the beginning of this mess. The second advice that I'm going to give is document. Document every time you call somebody. Document every time you get a paycheck or a worker's comp. Document what your doctors say and what your attorney says, and document dates, times. I left a message. I did this. I did that. Paperwork wasn't filed. Oh, paperwork was filed 3 days late. You know, all of it. Document every bit of it, because you need that documentation so that when you do go to court and they say, well, this never happened, you can say, oh, no, it did. And here's the date and the time. Okay? If you show up in court and just say, oh, yeah, well, I think I made the call. No. Here's the date, here's the time, here's where I wrote it down. Okay? So, whether you're at the beginning, middle, end, even at this point, I still document. This has been going on for 4 years. In August of this year, it will be 4 years ago that I hurt my back. I'm still dealing with it. Okay. This is fun. I'm liking this. So I've been creating different pages today. I'm not sure what's up, but I'm having fun with it. Anyways. So, other ways to work out the frustration. You could punch your pillow. That always helps. That's more of an anger, though, you know. Talk to somebody. Hopefully you have somebody close to you that you will be able to talk with and say, you know, this is really bothering me. And I mean, when this was going on, you know, one of my concerns was because I wasn't getting the paperwork as quick as I wanted it. One of my questions was, oh my God, am I going to have to go back to work in this kind of pain? Because had I not gotten the paperwork to approve my disability being out, not being at work, then I would have had to go back to work, because if not, I would have lost my job, right? So there's so many different layers. You're dealing with the injury. Okay, you're dealing with the injury. You're dealing with workers' comp, you're dealing with your employer, you're dealing with your doctors, you're dealing with the attorney. Those are just the beginnings, okay? My frustration, why do I have to stay on top of all of this? This is what I kept saying. Why isn't anybody listening to what I'm saying? Why do I have to be the one to make the calls and say, how come the paperwork's not in? Why do I have to be the one to call the caseworker and say, hey, I'm waiting for approval for my MRI. Why can't I get my MRI done? I need approval. Let's get it done. I want to get back to work. Why? Okay? My point at this time is I just want to get fixed. Approve me. Let's look at the MRI. Let's see what's wrong. Let's figure out what surgery needs to fix it. Let's get it done. Simple as that, right? No, doesn't work that way. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back this way again. And I'm just using, this is a Concept brush tip pen. And and I just got my finger in some paint, which is all good. It's all good. So we've got chapter 4. Now what I did, I ended up getting some black on there. And I tried to wipe it off, but it didn't go very well. Just like that didn't go very well. But that's okay. Come on, dry it up. No. Alright, so chapter 4 is why. And my question is, why do I have to follow up on calls and paperwork? Alright, that's my question, why? Now, what I'm looking for is I'm completely frustrated, okay? Yes, Buster. I just want to get fixed. And get back to my job. Not play games. And this is one thing that while I was going through this journey, that's what it seemed like everybody was doing, whether it was the doctor's office not getting in the paperwork or the workers' comp not deciding not to send me a paycheck or whatever the case may be. It just felt like everybody was playing games. I didn't want that. I just want to get fixed. Let's get fixed and get me back to work. Now, another thing that I feel while I'm doing all these this paperwork and following up on these calls and everything is I feel alone. It's almost like the doctors don't care, workers' comp doesn't care, your employer doesn't care. They all just want the paperwork in. They don't. You feel alone. You feel like you're just, what's the word, forgotten? Especially when they don't put the paperwork in when you're looking for it. It feels like no one cares. And that all comes back to the same thing. Why? Okay, so here we are starting to get into the emotions of how you feel when you're dealing with this issue. Alright, so I'm frustrated. I just want to get it fixed. I want to get back to my job. I don't want to play games. I feel alone, forgotten, no one cares, and this gets worse. This feeling here gets worse as time goes on. Okay? Why do I have to be the one following up on all the paperwork? If I didn't, would it get done? Probably not. Okay, so frustrated, alone. Another thing that starts to creep into your mind is worry. Okay, first thing is, do I have to go back to work with this pain? Okay, that's a question. You know, and you start worrying about that. How am I going to do my job? How am I going to get in my vehicle, my company vehicle, and take off and do a 250-mile round trip on a day when I can barely sit for 10 minutes? How am I going to do this? It's not going to be easy if that's what the problem is. And that's what it feels like, because nobody's doing the paperwork. I'm frustrated because I have to do all the follow-up on the calls and the paperwork. So I'm starting to worry. Am I going to have to, you know, what happens if the approvals don't come in? Am I going to have to go back to work feeling like this? All right. Another thing that you worry about is financial. Okay. At this point, what I had to do is, let's see, every 30 days I had to have paperwork into the disability for the company. So if that paperwork was not put in, there was a possibility that they would stop paying me. So that right there is your financial. Okay, how am I going to pay the bills? Okay, that's a big question. What am I going to do? Need that paperwork. Okay. Okay, this box I am going to leave right now because hi, this is my cat Buster. No, Buster Brown, you know. That's strange because normally he doesn't come up here that often. This one I'm actually going to do my own personal journaling in this box here. And so that one I'm going to leave blank at this point. So here we are, chapter 4. This is what we're looking at. Following up on paperwork and calls. We're frustrated. I feel like I'm alone. We're worried about financial. Am I going to have to go back to work in this pain? What's going to happen? All right. So this is where we're at. Now, just because I want to, I just don't like the fact that there's no doodles. We got to do some doodles. I love my doodles. Right? Just got to have some kind of doodles. It's just fun. I have to tell you, by doing this book, it is bringing back up, I'm looking for something while I'm trying to talk. Hold on a second. I was looking for my little stick here, my mark maker, and I poured some white gesso in my thing here. Doing these pages are bringing back up some of the old emotions. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to be feeling some of these emotions, but you know what? I think it's good. I think it's healing for me. I'm actually quite happy about it because there's days when you get down and you get really, really down. You wonder why. You know, why is this worth it? You know, what, I don't know how to explain it. Why me? There we go. Why me? Why, you know, and then to be able to, at this point in where I'm at in my journey, to look back and realize that, you know, it was okay to have these emotions and these feelings at this time. And yeah, I did make it. I've made it this far through it. You know, what a great accomplishment. I have went through a lot to get where I'm at today. A lot of it is acceptance. Okay, that is a big issue. It's not easy. I'm not going to even pretend to say it is. It's you long for that old person that you used to be. But like I've said in one of my previous videos, I'm not looking for that person I used to be, because that's my rearview mirror. I can't. If I spent my entire time trying to find that person, it wouldn't be any fun. I would always be looking back, and I don't want to do that. I want to look ahead. Right now I'm just playing, can you tell? I like playing. So, if you're on your journey, you know, make sure you document. Make sure you, if you can, journal. Journaling's not for some people. I think it's a great way to relieve some of the frustration. I think it's a safe place to do that. If you're worried that somebody is going to read your journal, talk to them about it. Say, hey, you know, this is my private place. Can you please leave it alone? Or, you know, write in a way that maybe they don't know that you're talking about them, or, you know what I'm saying? Try to find a way to incorporate the journaling into your chronic pain therapy. That's the word I'm looking for. Because journaling indeed helps. It's huge. It's huge in helping you deal with all of the emotions that come up. And there's many more emotions that we're going to talk about. So here we go. I hope you've enjoyed chapter 4. I hope I haven't bored you to death. We'll be going on to chapter 5 when I'm ready for it. And in the meantime, as always, have fun. That's what life's all about. Happy creating, and stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.